Hello everyone, here's a short little update again. The engines are done for now. I'm moving on to rudder control next. But before that I wanted to explain something you see in this short demonstration, because the behavior you see here might feel a bit counterintuitive at first, but it's very much intended and realistic. Schnellboats have a planing hull, which behaves very different from the displacement hulls most ships have. A displacement hull pushes through the water. It always has a large part of the hull submerged, and speed is very much limited by how much drag that water creates. Planing hull, on the other hand, generates lift at speed, so it essentially rides on top of its own bow wave or bow wave. I don't know how to pronounce that. But the hull skims across the surface instead of plowing through it. Once the boat is on that plane, the amount of hull in contact with the water, or as the academics call it, the wetted area, drops massively, drag falls off hard, and high speeds become possible. The caveat there being that those top speeds are also very much a function of how much thrust is generated at that moment. So when less thrust is generated, when you slow down, things change fast. As soon as a throttle is pulled back from full speed to none, the boat drops off the plane almost immediately. The hull settles back into the water and starts behaving like a normal displacement hull again. That's why you see the speed fall. You can check the speed in the top left, from 38 knots to 10 knots in about 67 seconds when we cut the engines, when we go from full speed ahead to engine stops. The planing effect is simply gone. Below those 10 knots, however, we're back in normal displacement mode. The drag increases much more gradually. It's just normal boat behavior. It's just a heavy hull pushing water aside, so bleeding off those last knots takes longer. It's actually very clever from a tactical point of view as well, because you can dump speed extremely fast when you need to break contact, set up an attack run, avoid overshooting targets, without having to rely on reverse thrust or other tricks like that. As a last note, the speeds you see in this demonstration, so 50 knots at slow speed, about 24 knots at 2/3 speed, etc., also line up with the historical engine order telegraph data we have obtained. Massive shout out there to Justin and Stolstrup for providing the data and helping me understand it. At a last note, getting the correct speeds for each EOT setting and making the transition between on off the plane behavior with believable drag, acceleration and deceleration was, well, let me say, it was not trivial. It was quite a bit of work. At any rate, thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you next time. Once we get rudder control in and behaving the way I want it to behave, it's time to start playtesting. Very much looking forward to it. Take care.